Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late October into early November 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let me put my sword down real quick. Let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Cancerians. I hope you're all doing fabulous, and I hope you're ready to have your cards read by a big Roman gladiator over here. Let's get it going. I'm in the seasoned spirit, as you can tell, so let's see what's happening. We're going to start you off with one of these real quick, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cancer Collective. My guides and spirit team, what's happening for my friends? It's one of my favorite times of year. I hope you're getting all your costumes ready, right? Never too old. Okay, we have the femme fatale here. This is a beautiful, confident, sexy type of energy here, my friends. There's a little bit of danger with the femme fatale, and she reminds me of the Queen of Wands in her ways. So there's a lot of beauty in this card, but there's that little aspect of danger or temptation. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. It's the last week for it. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about the femme fatale. So when we look at this card, you see the woman, she's dressed all in red. There's like a red bird, she's holding a rose, and if you look along the bottom, there's these Venus flytraps. So one thing I always think of with this card is, first off, aesthetics and beauty. So maybe you're feeling confident about yourself, or there's something about your own self-confidence and how you view yourself that is showing up in this week's reading. But there is some level of temptation and danger with this card as well. So if there's something or someone you've been trying to refrain from, if it's a behavior or a habit, whatever it might be, you could be very tempted in this time to cave on that when we have femme fatale energy. But for some of you, you might just be feeling very confident in yourself and the way you look. Maybe you're revamping your look in some sort of way, like the hair, the clothing. I love this confidence, but spirit could really be pointing at it. So maybe for some of you, you need to be a little more confident in yourself and your abilities in regards to something. So we're just going to put her down right there. There's just this innate confidence and sexiness of the femme fatale. But let's get you into tarot now. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get these three in the upright, then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. My guides, talk to me. Let's shuffle it up one time and see what we have for the Cancerians. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading, because it was a nice one indeed. It was titled Big Breakthrough Incoming. So for a lot of you, things that may have been bothering you or things that you've been waiting on for quite a while, you could be experiencing various breakthroughs, and that energy could still bleed over into the coming days and weeks. So just know, if you've been stressed or something's been taking forever, the breakthroughs could be coming in for a lot of you, which is a nice energy. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get it going here. What do we have for the Cancerians in late October? Okay, we are starting with a bang. This is just a lot of powerful energy, and just like the breakthrough energy we saw last week, and now the powerful femme fatale, we have Judgment here in position number 1. That is starting with a bang, to say the least. It's also karmic in its ways. Let's get a couple more here. What do we got? Okay, 3 of Pentacles. So we could be looking at your circle of acquaintance or people that you know. When we have that, it could represent work. So work situations could really be on the mind. Get you one more, then we'll start to piece this story together, Cancer. Thank you. Okay, Hanged Man. Okay, so this is something coming to like a screeching halt, possibly, or something that you might want to put a stop to or an end to, possibly. So let's go through real quick. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I look down here. We have an interesting mixture of energy, because on the extreme ends, they're completely different, completely opposite. So we have like a duality happening here, where it's like full go, full steam, full blast, screeching halt. We also have work things or people you're connected to showing up heavily in the energy. So the chances are this week's reading it's not just going to focus on you. It could be focusing on other people, especially with the Three of Pentacles. So let's breeze through one by one, and then we'll start to build this whole story out, build this picture out. So position number one, we have Judgment. Now, of course, this card could literally talk about judgments, judgment calls, decisions, choices. That goes without saying whenever we see Judgment. But a big thing to me with this card is its power, its change. This is a karmic energy. So it could speak about the cycles of life, but the one thing I always love about it is that it's spiritually protected. You see the Archangel Gabriel here blowing the trumpet. So when I see it, it's like, all right, it's go time. But just know whatever changes or things or struggles that you may be going through right now, Spirit wants you to know that you are protected, you are loved, which is a really nice type of energy for us to see. But Judgment to me is complete metamorphosis and change. So when we see it at the front end of the reading, yes, it's explosive, yes, it's action-oriented, and it's change-based as well. So we're really going to want to see what's up with that. It could be something that started very quickly as well. So like certain things or situations that just like picked up steam or even came out suddenly could be a big thing with Judgment. So there's a lot of things for us to pick apart, especially with the karmic cycle-based type of vibe. Now moving to the center, we have the Three of Pentacles. To me, this card, as I was already explaining, it's a card of teamwork. It's a card of our circle of acquaintance and groups. Now, for a portion of you, this could be representing a work situation, a money situation, or just a group dynamic. All right, that's a big thing when we see threes in tarot. But this one in particular could also represent somebody working diligently or hard, trying to master something, or putting in a lot of effort. But it could just be super simple as well. I already told you, like this could just tell us when we clarify it, a way that someone you're connected to might be feeling in this time, or the way this group dynamic, this group situation might play out. Okay, it is earthy. It can be very good. It can be very positive. Sometimes I say it could represent assistance or help. Okay, so whether you're wanting it, whether someone's asking for it, it all really depends. But there's like a group dynamic at play. Moving to the back end, we have the complete opposite of Judgment. We have the Hanged Man. This is an energy that is retracting. This is an energy that's pulling back. As far as zodiac signs go, I always link this to Scorpio. It could also link to Virgo sometimes as well, so you might have a couple of those in your life. But to me, this is a big card of like screeching halt, stopping, sometimes an ending possibly, but like not a complete one. So there might be certain things you're like, whoa, 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 I'm going to take a step back here, or you're pulling your energy back in one form or fashion. The Hanged Man could represent somebody watching as well. So there might be a situation you're keeping tabs on. There might be someone that has you under the microscope here. Another big thing with the Hanged Man is self-sacrifice, taking one for the team. So I could see for a portion of you, especially with like a group dynamic or possible work, you're putting other people ahead of yourself, or I'm not saying that's something you're definitely doing, but that's a possibility here where you're putting the needs of others ahead of your own, okay, with this and now the Hanged Man. So it all really depends on how it plays out. But the way the energy is sweeping across here, we go from like this explosive fast start, action, karmic, into the group dynamic, and now a complete and total stop. So I really want to dive deeper on this, Cancer. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here and reset this deck and see what's happening for my Cancerians. My guides talk to me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Judgment. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Judgment time. Let's see what this is about. Let's see what this action is about. Thank you. High Priestess. Yeah, that's a card that I do represent, or that I do link in with you. Okay, so this, I love how tarot works sometimes, because now we're seeing like you here in the front end under Judgment. So for some of you, you might be at a big fork in the road or crossroads in life, where there's going to be some sort of big decision or judgment call that's going to be placed in your lap. Now, when I see the High Priestess, like I said, I link this to all water signs. A lot of people just link it to Pisces, but I think all water signs have elements of the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers. It could be a gut feeling as well. So aside from what I just said, a lot of you feeling like you're at a crossroads or a make or break, when I see her intuition, a lot of you might feel like something big is around the corner. Like something's building up, something's coming. Okay, whether it's a person coming your way, whether it's a situation, like you feel intuitively like, okay, something's in the air. All right, that's a big vibe. So if that's not something you're feeling right now, just know in the coming days and weeks, if you start getting a gut feeling out of nowhere, just Spirit could be asking you to like brace yourself in one form or another. It doesn't mean it has to be bad. We still have to see how the rest of this plays out. But this is highly, highly intuitive. Okay, a lot of you, your intuition could be heightened in this time. You could be feeling the energy of others, like people, places, and things could be affecting you more than you think. So when we have it under a card like spiritual protection, this could really be Spirit telling you like, hey, tighten up your energetic defenses because you might be more open than you normally are. So I know I'm getting a lot of different messages happening there, but safe to say that there is a very powerful energy either moving towards you, like whether it's a person or a situation, like it's coming, like here it comes or here they come. So we'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the reading, because now we're moving into the energy of someone that could possibly be in your circle or you're connected to. And I really want to see what's happening with that Hanged Man too. So let's go in on the Three of Pentacles here. Why is the Three of Pentacles in the mix for my Cancerians, please? Guides and Spirit team. Yeah, the deck is being very specific for you guys. Usually with the Cancer readings, like the cards pop out like super quick when I start shuffling. Okay, this could be either very good or something that you really need to keep an eye on here. Okay, strengthen the upright. Usually to me, this is a big card of strength of character, having a lot of resilience. So for some of you, right, might really be sticking it out in like a group or work situation that you're not super pleased with. Okay, that's a vibe I could be picking up here. Like, all right, well, I'm not super happy about this. I'm not super happy about my schedule, but I have to do it, so I'm going to do it. Like, I've made a commitment, so I'm going to follow through. That's like a big energy I'm picking up here. We have Leo energy showing up here under strength. So there could be something that either you're struggling with, a commitment you're struggling with, or if we're talking about someone you're connected to, they could be going through some sort of big test or struggle themselves. Now, I feel like we're going to get more information when we get over to the Hanged Man. But the Strength card to me is generally, if it's not a card of character, it's a card of tests. So when I see it under the Three of Pentacles, like if what I just described about work isn't hitting for you, someone in your circle could be going through a difficult time or a struggle. Like they could be struggling or they could be going through some sort of like important time. So I want to see how the Hanged Man plays out. Just know if you're going through a tough time, if you're going through a struggle, I could also see the energy of a support system here. So just know that you might have more support than you realize, okay, with the Three of Pentacles and strength. If you're not linked to a Leo, you might have more helping hands around you. So if you need help, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's go in on the Hanged Man. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the Shadow card. Let's see what's happening. For my Cancerians, please. How's that Hanged Man? Thank you. All right, we have the Tower, so the energy of shock does come in here on the back end. Okay, and this could be someone trying to avoid that. Like, I really do see that with the Tower underneath the Hanged Man. It's like, okay, well, I could really mix things up if I wanted to. That's another vibe I'm picking up here. It's like, all right, I can. If I want to bring this Tower in, I could bring it in if I wanted to, if I needed to. Trust me, I believe you, okay? I know if you needed to mix things up, you'd be able to, but I feel this on the back end could be a shocking situation that someone's dealing with the Hanged Man. Like, because remember, the Hanged Man is pulled back. It's watching. It's like really trying to like take a step back and analyze something. So when I see this Tower, it is a shocking situation or a shocking moment that somebody is dealing with, and they're kind of frozen in their steps. So somebody could be going through a lot of big changes in their life when we have the Hanged Man in the Tower. Okay, yes, it could be avoiding it. It could be someone stopping something to avoid this shocking Tower. That could absolutely be the case. But to me, it kind of feels like this Tower comes in and somebody freezes. Like this situation or whatever this shocking Tower represents, like someone freezes up and is like, all right, how do I deal with this now? Okay, that happened. How do I make this work? That's like a big thing I'm picking up here with this Tower. Okay, so I would keep the head on a swivel in this time. Once again, remember, you have spiritual protection. There's a lot of spiritual energy. There's a lot of protective energy in this week's spread. But whenever there's a tower, you want to keep your head on a swivel. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Cancer. Lots of different things happening. Now, don't feel like it's all your energy. This could be someone else for sure. But in position number 1, before we get to the shadow card, we have Judgment with the High Priestess in the upright. I do feel like that could be your energy, where you might feel like you're at a crossroads in life. Like, okay, make or break time. Do I go left? Do I go right? That could really be it. Just know that you really might need to tune up or tune into your spiritual protection, because you could be much more sensitive than you normally are, taking on the energy of other people and things, even situations that you might not fully be connected to. So that's a big possibility here. But there is that innate protection that I really do like, the intuition. If something big is going to pop off, let's say this tower on the back end, you might have some forewarning about that. Moving to the center, we have the 3 of Pentacles with the Strength card in the upright. This does feel like a good support system, possibly, but I was feeling some other things, like someone possibly sticking in a work situation and not being happy about it and be like, all right, well, I kind of have to. For the time being, I have to do this, even though I'm not super happy about it. But another big thing I was picking up here with Strength and the 3 of Pentacles, there could be somebody you're connected to in your circle that is going through a lot of tough situations or a lot of tests from spirit, like a trying time. But there is the energy of help, which I really love. Moving to the back end, we have the Hanged Man at a full stop with the Tower. These energies are at oppositions with each other. So whether that's you like putting the brakes on something, putting a halt to something, it was making me feel a few things. Yes, this could be like a shocking situation that somebody's dealing with and they're having a very difficult time figuring out how to do it. When this tower comes in, it could be someone like freezing up, like, okay, that happened, now what? Like, that's a big vibe. And for another portion of you, you might know that if you needed to bring that tower in yourself, like you could bring the noise if you needed to. So do with that what you will, Cancer. Interesting spread this week. Let's get you a shadow card here. Okay, so let's see what's in the shadows for Cancer, please. And as I always say, I like to pull this shadow card at the very end. It's a nice thing to do. So whether it's something within you, something you don't quite see, let's see what's in the shadows for Cancer. Okay. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. My beautiful channel members helped me pick my costumes this weekend. There's a lot of bonus readings and stuff like that in there. I'm always showing love to the members. So obviously no pressure, but feel free to join us over there. Let's get it going. What's in the shadows? Thank you. Okay, that fell onto my tunic. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands here. This could be a very good determined card that's showing up in the shadows, but there is this little essence or feeling of being like trapped or handcuffed in one way or another. So for a lot of Cancerians in this time with the 7 of Wands, and it could be related to the work thing we were already seeing, it could be something totally different. But with the 7 of Wands as a shadow card, it could be spirit asking you, we're telling you like, hey, keep pushing, keep fighting the good fight. Whatever is being thrown at you, just keep pushing through and don't lose hope. That would be a very nice thing. But since this is one of my cards that make people feel trapped, cornered, or imprisoned, just know you might need to get out or just shake things up a little bit here when this card shows up, okay? Hopefully you're not feeling trapped in a situation, okay? And I did pick up little notes of that within the reading itself, but do with the information what you will, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Cancer, thank you so much, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the September subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for October, I'll be going back to one of the classics. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of the most beautiful decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments if there's a zodiac sign that you clash with. If so, which signs do you kind of bump heads with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of October, your name will be announced in the community tab, my friends. As always, much love, and I'll see you next time.